Hey guys, Alex Kahn here, and we are going to take a look at this 1/18 scale diecast based on Max Rockatansky's first car that you see in the 1979 Mad Max movie, his Interceptor. But before we talk about this, I want to take a look at this box. This box is a really nice collectible that you can also put on display. So on one side you see the car, but on both of the edges of this box you can see the front and back of the movie car. And on the other side of the box, you got some specifications for the movie car's engine specifics, engine details, and on the very back, there's really nothing on there. But on top of the box, there's a really awesome, first of the V8 Interceptors, and it's got the Australian flag on it, so that is really cool. And then it's got some pretty basic styrofoam safety interior. But once you take it out of the box, you can see that it's got this really awesome thing that none of my other cars has this, but it's a certificate of authenticity. Apparently this car is a limited edition. My only problem is, it says it's limited edition, but it doesn't say how many it's limited to. Because a lot of the cars that I own, the diecast, when it says limited, it'll also say like how few were actually built. But yeah, when you take it out of the box, you can see that the police light is actually not on the car. They take it off for shipping purposes, but the shipping bar does go right on top of the roof. But yeah, so in this movie, this is actually my favorite of the Mad Max movies. But in this movie, you see this car for a total of about maybe about 5 minutes. Most of the screen time actually takes place when they're on the side of the road, talking to these people about their motorcycle. And then the other half that you see this car is at the very beginning of the movie when they're chasing down the Knight Rider. And then you first see Max checking his engine. And then as he starts hearing reports of his coworkers getting beat up by the Knight Rider on the road, he starts gearing up. He puts his gun on, he puts his gloves on, he puts his sunglasses on. Actually, I think the sunglasses were already on. But once he goes into action, the Knight Rider learns that Max is just as crazy as he is. And Max doesn't even use amphetamines to get pumped up. He's already born that way. But yeah, you see the car sporadically in between those two big scenes that this car is in. Like you see it at his house briefly. You see it at the Halls of Justice, MFP headquarters briefly. But yeah, you don't see the car too much, but you see it enough that it warranted its own diecast recreation, and fans of Mad Max love this car. I gotta say, I also own the 73 Falcon GT, his Pursuit Special, the very famous iconic black one. It's really cool looking, but I gotta say, this one is just as cool, if not maybe even cooler. It's got more details on it. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have the Pursuit Special, but you can't say that you're a fan and not like both movies. No, that's not true. It's a matter of taste. But for I myself, I got to have both of these cars. Now, I actually got this diecast all the way from Australia. It took I think it took about 2 months for it to get over here because of the pandemic. There was a lack of transport for this for the shipping, so it just sat in Australia. You can see it's got some immaculate details on this diecast. You got the proper BF Goodrich tires on it. Although in the movie, I gotta say, when you first see this car, it's actually pretty, weathered up, a lot of dirt all over it. But I don't mind the clean look to it because it's pretty obvious that this car is Max's car. And it's got the correct license plate. And these tires, by the way, are nice and rubber. So it's got a nice feel to it. Obviously, these doors do open up. That's the driver's side right there. And this hood doesn't actually open. I can tell by looking at the lack of cracks in the hood. This thing does not open. But if you'll notice, it was rattling when I took this car out of the box. There's something loose inside. I'm not too upset because it came all the way from Australia, and I'm surprised that's the only damage that this car took. There's no way I'm going to order another one of these. That would take another, 2 months to get over here? And I don't have time for that. I don't think the trunk opens either. Nope, it's The trunk is sealed. That's fine. The back doors don't open either, but I'm just happy that the front two doors open. And again, this car is extremely detailed. But yeah, 1/18 scale. And what do you guys think? Do you guys like this car better than Max's Pursuit Special? Or which one do you think is... I think I'd rather have Max's Pursuit Special. But obviously, I'd rather have both. But if I had to pick, I'd take Max's Pursuit Special. But as a diecast, I think this thing's a lot more detailed than Max's Pursuit Special. Now it's pretty cool on the box. You know, as I said, it's got the specifics, the specifications of this car. It's got engine, 351 cubic inches, Cleveland V8 engine. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. 0 to 60 in 8.1 seconds. Yeah, it's really neat. Now, I said this car doesn't, you know, it only gets like 5 minutes of screen time. But throughout the movie, at least at the very beginning of the movie, the very first half, you see all kinds of other interceptors out there. Like you see the Big Bopper's Interceptor at the beginning. You see the March Hare's Interceptor. And then you see Goose. He actually drives a motorcycle at the beginning. But later on in the movie, you see that he is riding with Max. But yeah, Max's call sign is the dark one. And you can see his name, Rockatansky, right there. But he is mad, so he is Mad Max Rockatansky. But I love this, the colors on this police car. It's so beautiful. Yellow, red, blue, a little bit of white in there too. And you can see the big PA system up here. You see Goose get on there later on when that guy's running into the field. And Goose is like, "You're a turkey. You're a turkey." And it's got the MFP decals on it. So yeah, I love this diecast. And honestly, I still wish that they said how limited this car is. Because whenever a company makes a car that's limited, like a diecast, they usually say how limited it is just to show off. Like I have one car that's limited to 70 pieces worldwide. I have another one that's limited to 5,000. I have another one that's limited to 500. It's just nice to know, you know, how limited it is, so it makes your car feel more special. But simply tacking on limited edition on a box, it doesn't really tell you. It doesn't tell me too much about the car itself. I'll have to look online and see if it's posted anywhere. But yeah, again, which car would you rather have? The Max's Black Pursuit Special or this Interceptor? And what is your favorite Mad Max movie? All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this look at this diecast all the way from Australia.